Southeast Asia representative. Found an article that contains India's monsoons. Um, it's titled "If India's Monsoons Fail, a Billion-Person Question." Uh, it's kind of an interesting topic. It caught me. I'm into science anyway, but it's discussing how the monsoons give life to all of India. However, the summer it's hot, humid. Nothing can go on. It even talks about how the bugs are unwilling to pester people. And the monsoon is an onsite of life. It brings the whole country um, back to life. It refreshes everybody. And it's discussing how their pollution has been making the monsoons sporadic and not as long. They've caused huge floods, which have killed people. They're causing economic issues for farmers. The farmers depend on these floods for all of their savings. Basically, they have everything invested in these fields, and they can't save a lot. So once the monsoons don't come, it kind of ruins their livelihoods. Once that happens, you have people moving into the cities that need jobs, but yet jobs are not available. It kind of affects us in America because India has become one of the largest producers of food. They export a lot of rice, so food prices won't only go up in that country, which already has too many people to begin with, but it'll go up all the way around the world. So they'll be sending their food out because they'll be making money from it, yet all the people there will be starving. Kind of a huge impact for such a large country filled with poverty anyway. You'll definitely have people starving to death. It's already talked about how whenever the late monsoons come in or patchy monsoons come in, it causes issues with people starving anyway. They can't plant in time. They don't harvest enough rice or enough food for their families, let alone to export out to the rest of the world. Scientists do believe that with new technology they can kind of monitor these monsoons when they'll come. They can help people plan out their harvesting season, plan out their planting season. But again, India isn't wealthy, so they haven't been able to invest as much money in these products as they should be able to. Another issue was that they don't have a very good irrigation system. So if the monsoons don't come, they literally have no backup plan. Due to a lack of funds is why they don't have these irrigation systems, and there's not a lot of water sources to draw from. One of the ways that the government wants to help regulate these monsoons is stop India's pollution, obviously, because it affects the monsoons, how the water can come. Normally, the extended heat would cause the monsoons to be heavier. The water vapor goes into the air, it gets heavier, causes more rain, but the pollution has taken over all of that water, so it doesn't create rain. A big issue with pollution is acid rain, which would not help crops grow at all. So India's wanting to get more money to spend on irrigation systems so they don't have to worry about their people starving. They don't have to worry about people losing their livelihood and coming to the cities in extreme poverty. It's a big deal, for the whole world because they are one of the largest producers in food. So therefore, we're going to be paying a lot more for a lot of products. Even if you don't eat rice directly, it goes into making a lot of different food products. So it could be a huge impact on us, and also all the people dying in India. There was one where not as much of the monsoon came and over 2 million people died. So it's kind of over there a big deal already. And if we don't recognize it and try to help these people gain the funds they need for irrigation systems to teach the farmers about genetically modified crops that can withstand the droughts, then not only are tons of people going to die, but we're going to suffer as well through higher food prices and possibly extensive funds going to India to keep those people from dying. I just thought this was a really interesting topic. how perhaps even some of us that once we graduate would be able to have a cure for India's drought issue, their pollution issue, and the monsoon issue. So, and the monsoons come from all the oceans, so that means less water being put in from the polar ice caps means less oceans, less opportunity for there to be more clouds, more rain. So even though it's a big issue in India, eventually it will affect the rest of the world, and it's definitely a way to highlight the fact that we don't pay attention to pollution and that we need to start regulating pollution and helping some of these countries that make their livelihood just farming and not really understand what can happen from over farming. So that's been my issue in Southeast Asia, and I hope you learned something.